What's up, y'all? It's your boy Big Steve back at it again, and today I'll be showing you guys my Minion Surge build on Diablo 4. I recently cleared the tier 100, so that was my first time clearing tier 100 at level 94, which isn't too bad. It's a little bit different than the Shadow Mist Summon Necro build. I'm going to show you guys some gameplay footage, and then I'm going to go over the gear, Paragon board, and the talents. So let's dive in. Alright, I'm going to quickly give you guys an overview of the talents and tell you why I went with what I went with. Okay, we're going to start with Hemorrhage, and we took Enhanced, and we took Acolyte's Hemorrhage for the 20% attack speed while healthy. That's just to get your essence back quicker. And then we come down here, put 1 point into Blood Surge, 1 into Enhanced, and 1 into Paranormal for the automatic overpower. And we actually don't need Blight anymore. I took this out of the build. We'll put that elsewhere. You could go with Hued Flesh, always good to have, or you could go with some Unliving Energy or Imperfectly Balanced. Totally up to you. I'm going to see what I'm going to do with it, but we're going to come down here. We're going to max Blood Mist and Enhanced Blood Mist and Ghastly Blood Mist for the corpses. Now, the reason why we max Blood Mist is for the cooldown reduction. And same goes for Bone Prison. We max this for the cooldown reduction. And then we went with Enhanced, and we went with Ghastly Bone Prison for the vulnerable. Now, this is going to come in handy once patch 1.1.1 comes into effect, because we're going to get the aspect that you can get a certain amount of essence back from vulnerable targets. So this is going to come in handy. Then we're going to come down here, and we're going to put 1 point into Decrepify, 1 into Enhanced, and 1 to an Abhorrent Decrepify for the lucky hit chance for cooldown reduction. And we're going to put 3 in Amplify Damage. So we're going with a lot of cooldown reduction because you always want to be casting your Blood Mist if possible, or if you're in a jam, or your Corpse Tendrils is automatically popping off all the time. And then we're going to come down here. Oh, we also put 3 points into Death's Embrace just for a bit more damage and some damage reduction. Then we're going to come down here, put 1 point into Gruesome Mending, 1 point into Coalesced Blood, 3 points into Drain Vitality. This helps us keep our Fortify up. And we put 1 point into transfusion just to keep our minions alive better. And we're also going to max corpse tendrils, also for the cooldown reduction. As you can see, I have a 6.65 second cooldown. And we're going to go with enhanced, and we're going to go with plagued for vulnerability. This also will come into effect with the new patch coming. When we're going to get more essence back when we hit vulnerable targets. It's going to play a big part. It's going to be a new addition to the build. And then we come down here, we put 3 points into Inspiring Leader for some attack speed while healthy, and 3 into Hellbent Commander, and 3 into Death's Defense. Just, you gotta have this as a minion build. This is like a must. And then we put 3 points into Standalone for lots of damage reduction. And we went with Rathma's Vigor for another automatic overpower proc. And that's pretty well it for the talents. Now I'm going to quickly go over the items. For the helmet, we went with cooldown reduction. You want that on your helmet. And we went with the aspect for +2 to skeleton warriors. The more minions have, the better. I'll get into that now in a second. And for the armor, I went with Might. So your basic skills grant 20% damage reduction for 5.5 seconds. You're casting Hemorrhage a lot to get your essence back. So Might is almost up 100% of the time. And then for the gloves, I went with your blood skills. Overpower. When they overpower, you gain 47% attack speed. So when this procs, you're getting a lot of attack speed. That's why we went with the automatic overpowers. And then for the pants, you want to go with Disobedience. I don't have a perfect roll, still looking for one. And then for the boots, we went with +2 to Skeletal Mages. And for the weapon, we went with Blood Surge's Nova Echoes again after a short delay, dealing 51% less damage. So you get a free Blood Surge after you do a Blood Surge. This comes in handy. This definitely helps stack up the damage with the Barber, the Wrathful Heart. And then for the amulet, we went with Death Speaker's Pendant. Now, why we use this is it causes your minions to also cast a Blood Surge when you do. This also procs Lucky Hit. So that's why we also stack Lucky Hit. My Blood Surge currently has 16% chance of Lucky Hit. But we have a total of 11 minions. So if all 11 minions are, say, hitting with the Blood Surge when they cast, that's a lot of Lucky Hit chance. You can do this build without the Bone Prison bug. Sometimes I even use the Blood Golem for 15% damage reduction. You don't need the Bone Prison. I just find it's just you get more DPSing quicker with the Bone Prison. So it's good to have, but you can use this build without it, which is great because if that ever gets changed, which it probably will in the future, this is one route you could go. And then for the ring, we put the Grasping Veins on it. That's a perfect roll. Grasping Veins is almost a must-have for any Necro build. Just the damage increase it does is it's incredible. And for the ring, we went with the Ring of Mendel for obvious reasons. Your Lucky Hit has a 10% chance to empower all your minions, causing the next attack from each to explode. With the Barber, this causes some big damage. So the main part of this build is the Death Speaker's Pendant and the Ring of Mendel. And for the offhand, this is a nice offhand. It has cooldown reduction in 2 spots. So I'm getting a 20% cooldown reduction just from this offhand. And I got some Lucky Hit on it. Overall, this is just a good offhand. And I went with the aspect Critical Strikes with core skills. So your Blood Surge. Increase your attack speed by 22%. So with this and on your gloves and from the talent, you're getting a lot of attack speed. And that's pretty well it for the items. Now, for the Paragon board, for the Force board, I still don't have all my Paragon points. I'm still level 94. I still have some Renown to get, so I still have 8 more Paragon points to get there. So, still a bit of ways to go, but I'll show you guys what I started with. Okay, for the first board, we came up this side, and then we went with the Gravekeeper. And we took this because it's going to enhance your rare nodes on each side. And then we come up this way, and we went with Bone Graft. Now, Bone Graft is a pretty good board for any Necromancer build that uses Essence. And the reason why is we're going to come up here, and you're going to get the nodes with maximum Essence, Essence on kill, maximum Essence, Essence on kill. This is why this part of the board is so good to have, especially if you're using anything that costs Essence. And then we're going to come up here and we're going to take the Paragon node Essence. What this does is it gives you 97% critical strike damage, and with the bonus, you also get critical strikes deal 22% increased damage to enemies that are not healthy. So this is a big damage multiplier. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to take the board Cult Leader. Now, we only take this part of the board. We're going to come up here and we take the nodes with the damage reduction for your minions. And then we go with the glyph of Dead Razor. And what this does, not only does it buff you and your minions, it also enhances the rare nodes, which is going to give your minions even more damage reduction. So right now I have a total of 40% damage reduction for your minions. And we also went with this rare node. It's not huge, but it's going to help a little bit. It gives you 40% minion damage. And then we're going to come up this way, and the next board we're going to take is Scent of Death. Now, I went up this way and took some critical strike damage. That's what mainly these are about over here. Some more critical strike damage. And then we came over this way and took some more critical strike damage. And then we come up here and we take Imbiber. For every 5 willpower purchased in range, you deal 9.9% increased damage while healthy. So this is just a big damage boost overall. We also took some of the rare nodes on the side. And then we come up here and we took the board with Flesh Eater. So consuming 5 corpses grants 40% increased damage for 6 seconds. So with this season, we have the Malignant Hearts that auto-cast corpse skills for you. So our auto-cast corpse skill is Corpse Tendril. With the cooldown reduction, this is going off a fair bit. And if you're also raised skeleton for the priest to heal your minions, you're getting this buff quite often. But we also took the nodes over here for some more critical strike damage. And then we come up this way and took damage to elites. And then we took the Glyph of Control. We are using Cold Mages, so this also can help proc this effect. And we are also using Corpse Tendrils, which also stuns them. So you're getting a full effect from this, which is huge damage. And that's pretty well it. With the rest of my points, I would look at maybe putting some points into down here for some more health. As you can see here, you get 4% maximum health, 2%. I would avoid the resistance ones, another 2%. And there's another board I'm working at. Where is it to? Maybe it's up here. There's another spot with more maximum health. I'm not seeing it right now. Of course not. But you know what I'm saying. Any defensive nodes, stuff to maximum health would be a big plus next. Oh, here we go. I'm working my way towards down here. 2% maximum health, 4% maximum health, 2% maximum health. So that's pretty well it for the Paragon board. Well, that pretty well covers everything. I will make a couple notes. Like I said, you can play this build without the Bone Prison proc. It is bugged, so in the future, if it does get changed, I would recommend maybe going with Blood Golem with the 15% damage reduction. I will also show you guys the Book of the Dead. As of right now, I'm using the Sacrifice with the 30% increased critical strike damage with the Bone Prison. But if I do switch it up, I usually go with the Blood Golem. And your Blood Golem absorbs 15% of damage you would take. So with a lot of minion health and stuff, your blood golem hardly ever dies. So that's one way you could go. If the bone prison thing ever changes. I'm not a big fan of the bone prison. As someone who plays a lot of summon builds, I think casting bone prison to do damage, like big damage, it's kind of stupid. It's kind of lame. But it is what it is. It's one of the best routes you can go. So I would highly recommend using bone prison. But you don't have to. For the mages, I went with cold. Each time your cold mages damage enemies with their primary attack, you gain 2 essence. So this is just another essence generator, which helps a lot because blood surge do cost a lot. And then with the warriors, we went with reapers, and they have a 15% chance to carve the flesh off enemies, forming a corpse. So having corpses around is beneficial because it's going to increase your overall attack power, which is going to buff your minions and everything and all that good stuff. And it's just always good to have corpses on the ground. And that's pretty well it. I will also say after the patch drops, I will be giving Temerity a good tryout. I don't know if it'll be a good swap because I might lose the Disobedience, or I'll have to put Disobedience on elsewhere. Because Temerity is getting a pretty big buff, so it might be good to have as we're using Blood Surge, which heals you. So a lot of the time you're going to be healing and overhealing, and you'll be getting that barrier from Temerity a lot. Can't wait to see what happens and how it's going to work. And we will also be changing one aspect out for the new aspect where you gain essence when damaging vulnerable enemies. So can't wait to see what happens after the patch drops. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe and hope to see y'all in the next one. Peace.